All right, everyone, buckle up because today we're diving headfirst into a field that's practically exploding with potential: quantum computing stocks.
That's right. We're not just talking about some futuristic fantasy here. This is an industry ready to take off.
Investors are already taking notice, and we're going to break down four major players in the space for you today,
Yeah, should be interesting to take a look.
based on some really interesting research that we found.
Absolutely.
Amazon, IBM, Honeywell, and IonQ.
Excellent.
Those are the big ones. So let's kick things off with Amazon.
Okay.
Now, we all know Amazon, they're everywhere, right?
Right.
But they're not just about delivering packages anymore. They've
Mhm.
got this service called Bracket. And what it does is it lets you basically harness the power of quantum computing through their cloud service, AWS.
Yeah, and that's really the key here. It's all about accessibility. I mean, this is what Amazon does really well, right? I mean, they provide these services, these platforms that make it easier for businesses to operate. And now they're doing the same thing with quantum computing.
So it's kind of like they're bringing quantum to the masses in a way, because you don't have to have this like super specialized
Yeah.
$1 million computer sitting in your...
Exactly. You don't need a PhD in quantum physics to use it.
Yeah,
It's
exactly.
plug and play quantum computing.
Exactly.
And I think that's a brilliant move on their part because it really opens up this technology to a much wider audience.
Especially if you think about like smaller companies.
Startups.
Yeah, startups, researchers who normally wouldn't even, like you said, have access to this kind of...
Absolutely not. It'd be way too expensive, way too complicated. But with Amazon's Bracket, they can just basically rent the quantum computing power they need when they need it.
It's kind of genius when you think about it.
Yeah, definitely a game changer.
Okay, so we've got Amazon kind of, making quantum computing accessible. Then on the other hand, we have IonQ.
Okay.
Now they're a little different. They are like all in on being the quantum computing company.
Yeah, if Amazon is playing the field, IonQ is laser focused. They're what we call a pure play investment in the quantum world.
Pure play, what does that mean exactly?
So it means that investing in IonQ is a direct bet on their quantum computing technology. It's their bread and butter, their whole focus. Unlike, say, IBM or Honeywell, who have their fingers in a lot of different pies.
So it's higher risk, higher reward potentially with IonQ.
Potentially, exactly. They're putting all their eggs in one basket, but it's a pretty exciting basket.
And they're betting big on something called trapped ion technology. I mean, what even is that?
It sounds like something out of Star Trek, right?
Right.
But it's really cool. Basically, they use lasers to trap individual atoms. And these trapped ions, they become the building blocks of their quantum processors.
Okay, so it's like each atom is a tiny little quantum computer.
In a way, yes. And the beauty of this trapped ion technology is that it's incredibly precise and stable, which is really important for quantum computing.
So they're really banking on this becoming like the industry standard.
They are. And, a lot of experts think they might be right.
Wow. Okay. So we've got Amazon with their focus on accessibility, and then we've got IonQ pushing the boundaries with trapped ion technology. But what about the big guys? What about IBM and Honeywell?
Ah, the heavy hitters. Well, IBM has been a major player in quantum computing research for decades. They've got a ton of experience and a more diverse approach, which can be appealing to some investors.
So a little bit of a safer bet maybe than IonQ.
Potentially, yes. And then there's Honeywell. They're bringing their expertise in industrial automation to the table, which is really valuable for making quantum computers more practical for real-world applications.
It's amazing how each of these companies is approaching quantum computing from a different angle.
It is, and that's what makes it such an exciting field.
It really is like the Wild West out there, like you said. But instead of gold, it's quantum bits that everyone's after.
Absolutely, and with so much potential still unexplored, who knows what the future holds? Especially when we think about the ethics of putting so much computing power at our fingertips. Something to ponder, don't you think?
Definitely something to think about. And with that, we'll wrap up our deep dive into the world of quantum computing stocks.